Hey, Luke, let's talk about apps.
Yeah.
So today, instead of talking about one particular app
Uh-huh.
or reviewing one app, let's do a little roundup.
Okay, cool.
Got a topic for you.
Okay.
Now, this is all predetermined. This is all for show.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you on the fly.
Oh, right.
You've done your homework.
I have. Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about some of particular apps or titles around a specific genre
Sure.
or game style or particular focus.
Okay.
You've been tasked with picking out some of the, let's say maybe the best, but just maybe some titles that you should check out today.
Okay.
Games change all the time. There's
Right.
myriad options out there. So, Luke, you're going to talk about tower defense games.
Games near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
I am a fan of tower defense games.
Yes. So, help us if I'm interested in tower defense.
Sure.
Point me in the direction of a handful of games.
Yeah.
As of spring 2022.
Okay.
What are some tower defense games that I need to check out today?
Got it. All right. So, first of all, tower defense games, if you're not familiar with what they are, it's a style of gameplay where you have a area of a map that you are trying to get enemies to not go through, or you have things that you're trying to get people to not destroy. You're trying to protect certain things. And you do that by setting up towers or putting out minions or XYZ. So it's that style of game where you are either fighting against a player or an AI computer to protect resources or protect an area or something like that. So in no particular order, these are the tower defense games I think you should check out if you like that style of game. You've probably heard of some of these, and if you haven't heard of them, check them out. You might like them. I have played pretty much all of these ones. One is on my list that I've only opened a couple times and messed around with it, and that one here is it's called Kingdom Guard. So Kingdom Guard is that classic. The enemies go through a path, and you set up towers to make them stop. It's merge style, meaning as you have a level 1 tower and a level 1 tower, you can swipe them together and create a level 2 tower.
Okay.
This one you can play co-op. You can play PvP. It also has like a community aspect where you can have an alliance and do battles, against another team or something like that, and have set goals. It caught my eye because the visuals and the sound are really good. Okay. It's very kind of cartoony style. It looks like it has a lot of high production value.
Okay.
So that's one to check out. It's called Kingdom Guard. The next one is called Poker Tower Defense.
Okay.
This one is unique because it takes the aspect of poker, whether it's 5-card draw or Texas Hold'em, whatever. It uses the idea of cards and suits, and you build a hand, and then these enemies go around a path, and you merge cards and play cards to stop them. And certain cards have certain abilities. As you get higher in the card, an 8 would be better than a 2, but then a jack would be better than the 8 and might actually have an extra power or something like that. The other thing about this is you have a special character that you can change as you unlock new characters that give you a special ability as you build up this power by defeating waves of monsters.
Okay.
And this one there is some AI gameplay, but it's mostly focused on PvP. So you play against other people. So that's an interesting take on the tower defense with the cards.
Okay.
Another one, and this is probably one that's a little bit more popular. It's got a whole bunch of downloads in the Play Store. It's called Ace Defender Dragon War. This is one that you've probably seen in advertisements in other games. It's got a classic tower defense mode, and then it also has a mode where that team for tower defense that you built, you can play kind of like a turn-based battle, kind of more of that traditional like RPG style. This has different equipment that you can equip on those characters. You can level them up and get new abilities. It has a very fantasy style artwork. I will say this game has a lot of advertisements.
Okay.
And it really wants you to pay for certain things. So it's one of those that's very, very popular, but also can be slightly annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Next one up is one called Mega Tower. This one's interesting because it's space-based.
Oh, okay.
You're creating kind of this main tower with, different weapons that you can unlock on the top to defeat waves of monsters. But this is your tower central, and you can kind of tilt your map around in a 3D environment and attack different things coming at you from all sides.
All right.
Pretty cool. You can play against other people, but there's also like a story mode to go through, and a bunch of different kind of planets that you see, different looking planets and stuff like that, and a lot of different weapons to upgrade and add to. This one's pretty cool for a different sort of tower defense game,
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that 3D, because you don't see that a lot. The next one is called Random Dice Defense. This one is a merge style game, but the difference in this is you have just a grid, a 4x4 grid that you put your dice out in,
Mm-hmm.
and as they upgrade, certain colored dice do different things. And when you merge, two red ones together, you might not get a red 2, you might get a yellow 2, and
Okay.
that yellow 2 does something different. You pick your 5 dice that you have to choose from before you start the game, and those dice have different abilities and different synergies. But it's kind of this unique, simplified kind of idea of you're merging these dice, and the dice just get better from 1 to 6, 6 being the highest. This one's pretty fun, but there's one I think that has that same sort of idea that I've actually been playing a lot lately that I think is better. It's called Rush Royale.
Mm-hmm.
This has that same idea of a 4x4 grid. This one's actually a 3x6 grid,
Mm-hmm.
so a little bit squeezed, a little bit farther down. But you have different cards that you build, just like the 5 different dice you pick. You pick these different heroes that have different abilities, and everyone does something different. And as you defeat opponents, defeat the monsters on your side, they get added to the opponent's side. And so the idea is try to overwhelm the other person's lane before they overwhelm yours. But there's a bunch of different kinds of monsters, different kinds of gameplay. There's co-op modes and PvP. There's kind of an alliance or guild aspect where you can fight other guilds or alliances or clans or whatever you want to call it. There are event modes where sometimes they have certain modes where they will unlock every card, and you can choose whatever deck, even if you don't have the cards unlocked. But as you use those, they get less and less powerful. So you can't use just the best cards every time, all the time.
Okay.
So it has a lot of variation in the game, and it's looks good. Sound quality is great. That one's called Rush Royale. And then lastly, for a tower defense game, that's probably the most popular game that we've seen in this list. It's called Clash Royale. This is made by Supercell. It's the same company that makes Clash of Clans. It takes those same characters in Clash of Clans and puts them in a tower defense style game. The difference in this one, it does have that deck building feature where you're going to put 5 cards in, 5 different character types in, and you will be able to pick from those characters to defend your 3 towers. You have a main tower and 2 smaller towers.
Okay.
And you're trying to fight an opponent on the other side. But instead of setting those cards down and merging them together to create different combinations, you have a set upgrade before you start the game, and you're putting them out in real time to fight against the other person's monsters in real time to try and overwhelm their defenses to destroy their towers.
Okay.
This one is insanely popular.
Mm-hmm.
All of these games have a paid portion to them where you can buy packs, you can spend money to unlock certain card types, you can buy resources or anything like that. But then also all of them are free to play. So they start free to play, but you can purchase things to make your gameplay more powerful faster.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to spend money to be competitive. But yeah, if you like the tower defense style game, that was a quick list of maybe the top ones in this genre, or at least the ones that I recommend checking out. If you've never played a tower defense game and you're interested to see what they are, I'd say check out Clash Royale or Rush Royale. Those are probably the best of those of the list, of at least quality wise, and games that are going to be constantly updated. And there's a fan base already in them, so you're going to have a lot of gameplay where you're going to be able to play against people and not have to wait for matches and certain things like that. But yeah, we'll have links in the description, links in the show notes, and all that kind of stuff. If you like any of these games, let me know.
Cool. And that's tower defense games for Android that you should check out today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
No problem.